All right, let's jump right into a massive debate that's happening right now about the future of work. It really pits this idea of relentless, nonstop ambition against, personal well-being. And it all boils down to one single, really intense question. What are we truly willing to sacrifice to succeed?
It all comes down to this one number, 120. And just to be clear, that's not a monthly total. Nope. That's the number of hours some leaders are apparently demanding in a single work week. It's a number so extreme, so out there, it just forces you to question everything you thought you knew about work and about our own human limits. And a number like that forces a choice, doesn't it? Do we want our teams to be human, people who bring creativity, empathy, and a life outside the office to the table? Or do we want a machine, something that just produces and never stops? As you're about to see, these two options represent two completely different ways of thinking about what work even is. So, first up, let's talk about the work as life mentality. This is the philosophy you hear about from figures like Elon Musk's, and honestly, it goes way beyond just working hard. This is a level of commitment where work isn't just a part of your life, it becomes the absolute, all-consuming center of your entire existence. And this quote, it just gets right to the heart of it. The ideal employee here isn't just someone who's dedicated. It's a superhero, someone who can literally transcend normal human limitations. The goal is to find a person who can perform with the tireless, relentless efficiency of a machine.
So this machine mentality is really built on a few core ideas. It all starts with that 120-hour week as the standard. The appeal, right, the promise, is that you can achieve these incredible goals at a speed no one has ever seen before. But to do that, the priority has to be constant, nonstop work. The only thing that truly matters is maximizing output. It's a philosophy that doesn't just blur the line between human and machine, it pretty much tries to erase it.
But, for every action, there's always a reaction. And on the other side of this whole debate is a completely different picture, the life alongside work vision. This philosophy, championed by people like Anant Ambani, offers a really powerful counterargument. This quote really captures that alternative view perfectly. From this perspective, success isn't just a number on a balance sheet. It's a much bigger idea that includes these critical human things: your physical health, your connection to your family, and your own mental state. The argument here is that these aren't distractions from success, they're actually essential ingredients for it. So let's break this down a bit. This vision, it doesn't reject effort, not at all. In fact, it says hard work is super important, but it insists on balance. It sees personal well-being, health, family, and mental clarity not as just nice-to-haves, but as the very foundation you need to build any kind of sustainable, long-term success. So what we're left with here are two fundamentally different paths, and both of them supposedly lead to the same goal: success. But as we've seen, it's the very definition of what success even means that's really up for debate. And here it is, the conflict in a nutshell. On one side, you have the machine, 120 hours, nonstop output, where work literally is your life. On the other side, you have the human, prioritizing health, family, and a life that exists alongside your work. It's just a fundamental clash of values, isn't it? It's quantity versus quality, raw output versus, human well-being. And this really brings us to the tough questions that hang over that whole machine mentality. Like, what's the human cost? Is there even room for family in that equation? For personal time? For literally anything beyond the work itself? These are the really tough challenges that this philosophy has to answer. But when you get right down to it, this debate isn't really about famous billionaires. It's about you. It forces every single one of us to ask a very personal question. So forget everyone else for a second and just ask yourself, what does a successful life and career actually look like for me? Because look, the goal here isn't to declare one side right and the other wrong. It's to use these two extremes as kind of guideposts to find your own definition. It's all about figuring out where you land on that spectrum, somewhere between a human who works like a machine and a human who works so that they can live a full life. And maybe it all just comes down to this simple but really powerful idea. That drive to work hard, to achieve amazing things, that's vital. But maybe, just maybe, it's only one part of a much bigger picture.